Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to the pre-Australia Day stream. Sorry it took me so long to get out of the cockpit, but it took me until 6:45 to start becoming a good bloke who can put those ones together. Thank you and welcome all to our stream. It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I'm here, proud Aussie, most of the time, to at least do a little bit of homework and have you ready for a fantastic day or a distraction from whatever's happening in your life right now. We've sort of thrown this one at you, but I did let people know yesterday in the community tab, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get the notifications. Take into account, but we are a shadow banned channel. Evidence of that is we've been going for 3 years. We'd had our first channel taken down, hacked by someone in an Asian country who still tried to put our channel up. We're over 16,500 subscribers, and that was 2.5 years ago, and we've only just got to 11.7 now. So this is a channel not necessarily just about military, not just about Army, Air Force, Navy, not even just about Australiana, or the way to get on with life and just take it easy and not blame the sins of the father, which we'll be talking about later, but to distract yourself from the frivolities of normal human beings that are worried about trying to be the emperor, the president and prime minister all at the same time while taking nil advice or holding the mirror up to himself. So let's have a good day as we get ready to either have a pie, chick, bloke or a slash at the grey nickel. What are you cooking tomorrow? Let us know. Rural Hunter, I see you there. Member for 6 months. Well done, mate. Happy Australia Day, guys and gals. 26th of January. The first day here was, apparently it all started in 1788. I wasn't born. Which leads me on to one thing. You cannot blame people for the sins of the father. Whatever happened before you were born, or whatever happened from you as a father, or your father, is not your fault, and you should not be held accountable for that unless you were part of it. So tomorrow is not a grim day. Tomorrow is a beautiful day. Tomorrow is a welcome day. And if people want to bring up gripes of the past, despite the fact that we're probably pretty close to the best country on earth at the moment, maybe they've just got a bit of dickhead in them and they've got an axe to grind that will never ever be enough. So let's not make it just about us. Let's make it about the fantastic day tomorrow that includes all of our newest citizens that will get oath or affirmation pretty much to swear to be new citizens of Australia and lead a tax-paying but also law-abiding life, learning the language, learning the law, L-O-R-E, making the friends, hitting balls over bloody fences and being included in the daily life of what it is to be Australian. Because at the end of the day, we're a melting pot of almost every single nation that was lucky enough to get their children on these overheated sandy beaches, which none are necessarily much better than each other. We've got thousands of them. So enjoy the beach that's nearest to you. Further up north you go, on the east coast especially, the sand won't be necessarily as hot. But I tell you what, the beaches get more and more beautiful as you go further north. G'day Nicole King, how you going mate? Mason Thompson, Carl P. Sorry guys, I was with the daughter. Just got back from yesterday, a spinning frenzy at Luna Park, Australia's iconic but crazily run theme park, right on the Sydney Harbour, underneath the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You can't get it wrong. Lauren's just sitting in the background at the moment. She wanted to be in chat for a while to make sure she doesn't distract the message for all those that are new to the channel. Make sure you subscribe right now so you can have a gob off, a comment down there. If you see someone in blue, that's a moderator. They have the power to shut you down. Me too, maybe. And that's what it would look like. But I'm back. And Lisa, my sister, is here. I see Peter Mayfield. Now that's a pack of durries right there. We've got Deadpool. Ha! Now that guy, he's got some history. He hasn't been the NAM. Yes, he has been the NAM, I think. You know, we've got my eyes are basically buttons team if you've seen Coraline, so don't hold that against me. I've got one of the best coffees you could get, and that is McDonald's coffee, because of the volume, the fact that it hasn't got that what feels like yak tit milk that comes from what's that one, the American one, Starbucks. We've got one of those down there. The venti coffee, which has got like that powdered milk that tastes like you're in a bomb shelter, mixed with a little bit of gyprock dust. Lisa, damn Lauren, sorry to hear. Sorry, I can't read to keep up. Clayton, what are your thoughts on Russia and Ukraine at the moment, mate? I'm worried about a pie cricket bat and a girl to swing it for me. Mate, there is nothing we can do in that fringe of the world. We won't be going there either. You know, that northern hemisphere, I don't think they're going to see Australian souls there. You know, we're going to see how that pans out, and sometimes you've got to stick up for yourself. Let's see. Zevo, g'day, Caddis. Haven't checked in on the stream in a while. That's okay, mate. We regurgitate a lot of the same messages. It's more of a distraction from normal life for people that need somewhere to go. Yeah. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not really going anywhere. This is the first year that I haven't taken Robin over there, claims to be Deadpool, fake news, CNN. Normally I go down to the Wall of Honour at Canberra, and I go down there to the War Memorial to see some of the lads that I know that are on the wall there that gave their lives for Australia so that we could stand for our flag instead of taking a knee, and basically represent the country that we are lucky, so lucky to live in. And I don't think anyone has any doubts about that. It's such a good country, we'll let you even say bad shit about it and get away with it. But not many people are complaining about our internet, about our living conditions, about our medical, about our highways. It's all pretty good. Lisa, stop saying sorry to people. This is not a sorry stream. What's happening? My entire mission at the moment, I have a surgical aseptic approach. So what's everyone going to do tomorrow? Frisbee, cricket bat, barbecue, wok, depending on where you came from. You're going to share a meal with someone from a different culture, or are we all sort of the same now? You're going to bite into a pie, the ultimate gamble, not check the heat, just bite it. Are you a sausage roller guy, battered sav guy? That's what she said. John Wayne Bobbitt. Have you been checking out real crime lately? My favourite topic. Keeps me awake at night. They don't stand a chance, Lauren. What's this one about? We got a whole bunch of questions last night on the comments too when I said that I couldn't stream last night. As I said, I was at Luna Park. My daughter went there. I surprised her by taking her there for school holidays. Got there just after 11 it opens, but they opened at 10:30. Got in there. They used COVID as a reason why you can't actually even pay with EFTPOS at the front. You had to sign in individually as families online. But then once you got inside the park, you're already inside the park, everything was EFTPOS. It does not make sense. Does not make sense at all. But we're doing everything the hardest way these days. It's like IKEA furniture trying to get through the day. Hammock, barbecue, water balloons. Water balloons are good. But there's none of that sort of excitement with take that as you fill up a plastic water-filled simulated grenade, take 10 minutes, throw it, miss, and have to go back to the hose and do it again on the hot tiles. G'day, boys. There you go, Carl. Taking the fam to the footy club, toad races, beer, jumping castle. Be careful of those ones, kids. You know, they get hot as hell and a bit of motion sickness too as you get older. Is anyone getting out in a tinny tomorrow? Is anyone going to a citizenship? Is there anyone who's getting sworn in tomorrow as a citizen? Yeah. We've got Tommy, our UK fella. I got in contact with him from one of the previous streams, and he's getting ready to do the lateral transfer to Australia. He's a sniper at the moment over in the UK. He's more than happy to be bringing his family over there to escape some of the bullshit that's going on in the UK. And he can't wait to come over here like Harry and get on with his life. I'm not a Harry fan or Megan's, but that's not what tomorrow's about. You've got to have a little bit of a whinge because that's what Aussies do too. You're entitled to a whinge. Yeah? But you should at least try to have a solution if you're going to have an opinion. An esky full of ice cube, bottle of scotch, and a juicy smoked steak. Can't do the smoked food. I tell you can, but that's Daz. He's no vegan. This guy's got his herd going. I'm loving the photography. Daz has got into the photography, getting ready for the GoPro 10 giveaway that we'll be doing for a photography competition that has to be shot on an iPhone coming up very soon. And he's already practicing long exposures with his ghost cow that he took a picture of today and basically sent that to us. It was a good one. This is a couple of photos we took yesterday that turned out to be really well. Let's see if I've got it up on here. This one was Luna Park, because you've got to get a different angle, team. You've got to get a different angle. This is the photo we took yesterday, or one I took. This was on an iPhone. So this is the actual shooting through the Ferris wheel. Again, too scared to get on it. Don't trust modern engineering. You know, the Mighty Mouse, the scariest final destination roller coaster you're ever going to get on. But I like the colours in this, and I like the scab of the air. You know, the bin scab, the beach tax man, the seagull. He'll take your chip, and he'll be happy to do so. So that one turned out nice. I really liked it. The other one, is it here? Is it here? No, not that one. Okay, let's have a look at this one for a second. We'll leave that up there. And there was another one that came out that was really nice. You know, the reason why I encourage you to take photos is because it keeps you activated, and part of the day it allows you to timestamp something that happens in your life and remember that moment for the rest of your life. This is a fantastic photo, if not one of my favourite photos. And this is my little girl. By putting things onto the wide angle of the phones, I believe it's only iPhone 11 upwards, what it allowed me to do was to drag that image out and get a photo of my daughter in the foreground using rule of thirds, but also get the Sydney Opera House as well as the Sydney Harbour Bridge, the coat hanger, into the picture with a ferry, which people are paying too much for. So that's a great photo there. I love it. You know, the sky was beautiful and moody. You know, it took a lot of Tarzan super grip to get her hands to make her stay on the rail that way. That's her trying to escape, but everything for the photo. Let's get out of there, and her auntie Lisa is probably loving that one. So, tomorrow, Dave D, there he is. Stand fast, sir. There's on Android and found a long exposure camera app. There you go. Long exposure is a great team. If you can get about half a second to a second, you can get some of your loved ones just to stand still. Everyone else is walking past, and that's going to create the ghost-like effect while they are pin sharp. Something different, and different is better than good. Lisa, top of the London Eye. I'd be shitting myself on that. Okay, you did too. Had a panic attack. That's where I knew I had a fear of heights. If you didn't know you had a fear of heights before you got up on the London Eye, holy shit, you're sheltered, Lisa. But I live with you, and that's fine. I've been scared of heights ever since we were 3. And Lisa was with me when I fell off a cliff across from the Sandon River up near Yamba. Bloody terrible. You know, and then I went into a job that was flying around, hanging outside of helicopters. That wasn't good for me. That's why my ass is so tight. What's criteria for the photo, Kaz? The criteria, we haven't worked it out properly yet, Peppers, but what it will be from the date we say, it cannot be a photo that was taken before that. And you'll probably have 2 weeks to get a photo done, which is going to give you optimally 2 weekends to take a photo. And you'll be able to send in 1, 2 or 3 submissions, maybe 2 only. Right? And they have to be shot on an iPhone, and that's basically all it's going to be. Right? And the winner of that will be the iPhone 10. It's fantastic. We'll get probably a tripod attached to that as well, so you can start your journalistic journey into capturing life and the better version of yourself. Maybe Carl P can have that on, fall off one of his roofs as he saves marriages by installing air conditioners, right? And then maybe he can go viral with that POV shot of him falling off the roof. Lisa and Kaz, scared of heights, must run in the family. Yeah, mate, like I was saying, we're at my sisters were adopted. My brother sadly didn't make it. His name was John. You know, love him, never met him. He passed away before I was born. Well, he was actually being born. And they said that Mum could never have kids, so that put her to the front of the line, and she was one of the only ones to take 2 kids from the pound that were related and adopt them straight away. So Mum got my sisters, Trina and Lisa, only to find out that she was pregnant just after that with this guy. I was a little bit sickly at the start. That could be because I was born near Holsworthy. But other than that, 3 of us all under 1 year old, and at 3 years old, I fell off a cliff, at our holiday house. Parents didn't watch their kids in those days, and my other sister slid off, but her upper body strength was better. She held onto the blade grass, and Lisa ran for help. Saved us both. Please have a thumbs up below the screen if you feel you will. Rural Hunter, where do we send our photos? We're going to get a email address just for that, because the email I currently have at the moment, Hot Aussie Kaz, the first one I've ever had, has got over 40,000 emails. And Outlook, I think has got 20,000 emails. So I don't even look at emails anymore. But for the email photo competition, we'll let you know all the details. There'll be a video that comes out from that, and then there'll be a countdown to see what you guys come up with, and it's going to be good. But don't waste me time. Don't send shit. Put some effort into it. Get up early. Go to bed late. Do something different. Get a photo and think, that's one I'd put as a profile picture on my phone. That's normally a good indicator that's worth sending in. Because we had, I think it was Fugly, sent one of the worst photos I've ever seen taken by digital film. If that makes sense. It was terrible. And he rang me up to let me know it was going to be terrible. That's all right. Thanks for sharing that story, Kaz. I never knew that. Yeah, Carl. People have fears for reasons, don't they? Tears for Fears. Lauren's favourite band, Daz. Okay, so for the Android, you need an app called Long Exposure Camera. Motion camera, costs $3 and has a green-black logo with a camera in-app store. There you go. And for the one on the iPhone, even longer. I know it sounds like a porno. It's not. Righto. That is the one for the iPhone. Space Ninja, I heard you coming. How you going, matey? Hope you're going well. Australia Day. Is there anyone, we don't really want to entertain anyone that thinks Australia Day is a bad day. It's a great day. If someone wants to change the date, they're going to whinge about something else no matter what it is, because chances are someone, white lawyer with 1% Aboriginal in them, is finding a way to fleece the cat. Okay, so don't entertain that shit. Unless you are mean to people of other cultures and other races, which I doubt you are, you very rarely see it or hear about it. We'd give everyone a go. We'd open the door for anyone to come in, for either safety or share a feed, as long as they bring more than that bloody skimpy 6-pack of thin barbecue sausages. You give everyone a bat. So let's give everyone a chance to have a good day and not gripe on one day of the year, which is about unity and about forgetting some of the whinging. Because you're not going to change shit. All you become is a Prince Harry and Meghan, and we don't want that in Australia. PK, my favourite gum. Hey Kaz, love the content, mate. Got an enlistment date, 29th. Oh, sorry, this is James Layla. Hey Kaz, love the content, mate. Got my enlistment day the 29th of March. Infantry 343. So you're getting in just in time to have the coldest winter of your life. Fantastic. I can't wait to see how you go. And we're going to be there as part of your journey. You know where to find me on Patreon. And I look forward to living vicariously through your life as our army expands, re-rolls, calls different things, different names. Pretty much the same role, but yep. Let's just do a kick in Dave. Dave nearly cut his leg off once by a low altitude fall. What's happening here? Rural Hunter, I'll get to you in a minute, mate. Change the date, not change the hate, not the date. I love that, Robin. Kane Higgins, because we all know that whingers, they just shift gears. You change something for them, they shift gears. Mr. Kaepernick, I'd love to know that he got something wrong with his patella and can't kneel anymore. Okay, so I got the rest of the week off from work. Okay, mate. What are you going to do with that time? It's called a public holiday for a reason, mate. Make sure you enjoy it. Although the beaches up there aren't as hospitable as the ones down here. PK, our favourite Chewy. Lisa. G'day, Gav. Daniel, Benjamin. 2 first names. You know that always makes hard for people in the military? No, mate. What's your surname? Benjamin. Surname. Benjamin. No, that's your first name. No, it's my surname. Confusing. And I got my medical assessment on the 2nd of February. Love the vids. We love you, mate. Because Australia's about all those that want to have a go. You know, whoever would have thought it would be a good idea that their son was a scaffolder or playing with the invisible pirate electricity. You know, one of the most noble jobs on earth is the marriage paramedic, which is the air conditioning installer, which is Carl P. You know, keeping relationships together since he was become a tradie. Well done. Lauren's thrown the Patreon link down there for anyone that needs one-on-one calls through the bat phone. It's not a substitute for Facebook, okay, but it is a way that you can speak to me one-on-one and speak in a way that you can represent yourself and get answers to questions that I know or can pass on to you that give you the best chance of not, what would we call it, getting yourself in the shit by making knowledge known. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll just turn that off for a second. Rural, we'll have a look at it in a minute, mate. Old Central. G'day, folks. G'day, mate. Kane, Lisa. Let's have a look at some of the comments that came in yesterday. We asked you for it last night. We'll see what you came up with. I know Mr. P was he was a bit worried about me going to Luna Park because of the COVID, but you know what? I couldn't give a shit, you know. I wasn't scared at the start. I'm not scared now. You know, I've got too many friends that smoke a packet of durries a day that believe in the shit. You know, I know it's there. I know it affects people. You know, but I also know I'm going to stay in the Titanic, so I'm not going to let it rule my life any more than those that demand it to rule my life. And I'd suggest the same to yourself, otherwise it's never going to stop. You know, you're hearing people now that have had the booster shot getting angry at people that are only double vaxxed, they're angry at people that have only been vaxxed once, who are getting angry as hell at people that are unvaxxed, but no one actually seems to be getting angry at those people of the red corn chip flag, or Dr. Fauci. You know, we're getting angry at each other. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So some of the questions that came through. Hey, Kaz, questions. Surely I'm off to Kapuka, followed by Singo. My partner, female, nice to hear, is quite interested in combat engineers reserves. Okay. What are your thoughts? I think go for it. You get some tickets. There's not enough women in STEM. Okay, science, technology, mathematics and engineering. Have a go. It pays well. You know, a lot better than Supro. I'm really supporting the idea. However, I wouldn't want to persuade her into something she will come to regret. If she's an army reservist, mate, she can walk whenever she wants anyway. You know, the danger just being that people are going to come after her. You know, especially if she's a looker. You know, just make sure your marriage is strong. You know, or your partnership is strong. Matthews, Matty Winters. Hope you're feeling okay. You've been really helpful. Quick one, when you're using your phone while on stream, do you have a small speaker you can connect? Look, I don't know what it is. A phone just doesn't project through a microphone for some reason. I'm not sure about that one. We've got Joshy Gray. Hey, Kaz, wondering if you did a support company course in infantry. So maybe go over them all. Okay, I've done that in videos previously. I was mortars qualified but failed for attitude after an alcohol-related incident where I failed the theory exam, then went on to pass the rest of the course. Passed the retest in it, but got failed for attitude, and that was in 1993, I think it was. And then I went on to DFSW, but again, some of my best friends I was competing with, they only take 2 or 3 from a course a lot of the time, 30 people on a course. No, I never did it, but you know what? I was never meant to be DFSW. I was never meant to be snipers, recon. I was never meant to be signals. I was never meant to be pioneers. I was never meant to be surveillance. Did I miss any? Okay. I was always meant to be rifle company, and that's what I loved the most, because that's where the most action is. Loved it. Don't be in a hurry to be everything except what you joined for. That's what I'm saying there. Like if you can, it'd be appreciated. Zane, If you enjoyed the last few days of holidays with your daughter, mate, hopefully full year of school with some, let me tell you, it is exhausting, especially when you are a single parent to one child. If you have two kids, then they can play with each other. That's the reason why people get a second dog, isn't it? My beautiful little girl, because I didn't give her a brother or a sister, I've got to make sure that I'm her colleague, her battle buddy, her sniper number 2 in everything. And that includes playing dolls. Nothing is left out. So it's exhausting. She gets dropped off before 7 in the morning. She gets picked up at 6:30 at night. So I have almost no spare time while trying to be the best dad I can. But I did lose my shit today, and I'm not proud of it. But that's what happens. Daniel Benjamin, that's a tough situation. Lucky I have support of my parents. You do need your parents' support, but at the end of the day, they're not going to go down with the Titanic with you. You've got to make and live by your own decisions, and as long as what you're doing is righteous, as long as what you're doing is hard work, honourable work, they should be happy, and they will be with time. Would they be more disappointed you join the military, or would they be more disappointed you doing a university degree and then finding out at the 4-year mark, 1, you're not going to continue it, 3-year, you're not going to continue it but still have the HEX fee, or you failed it, or you ultimately don't want to follow on with it, or even worse, you're going to do a second degree, become a full-time student basically, never achieve anything in life, okay, but still have a massive HEX bill and scared to get a job because then you're going to have to start paying your HEX bill, or waiting for a relationship to come and take over that. What's that got to do with Australia Day? Nothing. What are you going to do tomorrow? What are you looking forward to tomorrow? What does Australia Day mean to you? Is Australia the best country in the world? Have you been to other countries and you think that they're actually better than Australia? I haven't. I reckon Australia is the best country in the world. But it just gets so boring when you've travelled over the whole thing, because when you travel overseas, you don't necessarily go to look at different sites. A little bit of that is you go for different cultures, for different human experiences, right? And when you do travel, you learn more in a week than what you could in a year from a book, because you smell, you hear, you see, you communicate, you fully absorb into a culture and understand things in a tactile sense that you never possibly could from reading. That's why I say travel. But travel's not innocent. Every trip you go on, something sucks. My ex-partner, the mother of my daughter, she went on a Kentucky tour. And I think it was it Belgium or something like that? She went to, and they stayed at a lodge for the Kentucky tours. And they were going to go canyoning the next day. And they were jealous because the group that went before them, they partied with them and said, we're going to go canyoning, this is great. The instructors were there, probably sleeping with their pick of the people that were on the Kentucky tour. Girls tend to travel in large groups of girls. Fantastic. If you're a guy to go along there, it all gets done for you. And every one of them got killed. Everyone on the first trip, I think there was 18 of them, got killed when there was a surge of water came down the canyon, and it took out the whole Kentucky tour. And so naturally my ex-partner didn't get to go on her tour. It was the next day, but understood that everyone she'd been having drinks with and talking to the day before, including the instructors, all gone, said Miss Jane. Yeah, so when it's your number, eh? When you get paid by the military to go to another country, it's fantastic, because the only thing that costs money is your Coca-Cola, your beer, your food, etc. But all your experience and your chicks come for free. Money for nothing. Hey, Joshy Fawns, I'm great. Have we got our West Side here, Jay Hayes? Is he feeling any better? I hear he's got a bit of the gastro at the moment. Gastro is also known as the sailor's friend. All the fun without the taxi bills. What else we got? Carl. Okay, it's about the Rona. Did you all hear about that famous statement from the plumber? He reckons this place gives him the shits. That's pretty corny, isn't it? Anyway. Fletch, how you going, mate? Australia Day tomorrow. What are you getting up to tomorrow, mate? Anything? Is there anything in particular? You're going to sleep in. Is anyone going to do an early morning photography? Haven't seen Jay tonight. I hope he's okay. West Side. Mate, I hope you're all good, mate. I'll send you a message in a minute. He's feeling better. He's probably in the balcony. In the balcony. I don't understand. Dave's here, is he? The Duke Ultimate. Hey, Kaz, what do you think about military marching music, like for praise? Yeah, not a real fan of it, mate. Inverbrachy, Ringo, Brown Bear, all of the different ones. The one thing I will say is I really took it for granted while I was in. I was thinking about the other night what a luxury it was to be part of the 2nd Battalion, and before that the 2nd 4th Battalion, and to see 1,000 men dressed in black shirts, before that black and scarlet, and to be marching down a road, 3 deep, 6 companies long, with an RSM calling the time, with pipes and drums leading the charge, so to speak. It was an amazing sight that we rarely got to see ourselves unless we were looking at one RAR, thinking, well, that's what we look like when we come down here, but they had the brass band whilst in Matilda their song. You take for granted, but it's beautiful. And the best day for the pipes and drums, for example, is Anzac Day, when you're in the RSL and the soldiers are all drinking the RSL dry, and telling their worries for the 20th time. But then the pipes and drums come in and they take all the limelight. Fantastic. I never had the legs for it, mate. But I do love the pipes and drums and I miss them dearly. It was sad to see they were a full complement band when I was in 2-4, and then it was down to just a couple of them almost by the end in 2RA. At one stage, if you went to direct fire support weapons, they were affiliated with going to pipes and drums. So you became sort of a bit of both, which was an unusual sort of thing. Go to play with heavy weapons and end up blowing air into a bagpipe. Shelley Lewis gave it a good go. Sometimes chat runs in the wrong way, so he finds a high vantage point and does his sheepdog thing. Okay, gotcha. Well, if he's out there, I miss him. And he's over on the west side. At the moment, we're looking about some expansion of possible forces being raised for different areas and getting a larger, the rumours are, a larger military presence on the west coast. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Not all superheroes wear capes. Yep. Waiting on Superman. Mrs. Clark, Carl, Daz, Lauren, Guardian. Not many people here, which is probably a compliment because it means people are getting ready for a big day tomorrow. Zinc or the towel, you don't take both. I'm not much of a sunscreen kind of guy, slip, slop, slap. I just don't go as often as I should. Robin wears girls' clothes. Dave, I have a lunch down the road. It's great tomorrow. Going on holidays on Thursday. When you live in Vietnam, Dave Penson, for those that don't know, where do you go for a holiday, mate? Nope, he wears a tight red leather chaps. No, you're not Deadpool, mate. Come on, no fake news here. Robin should join the Navy. He started as a cabin boy. That's why he wears the mask. I don't know what to do tomorrow. I'm thinking about getting up early and going and doing some sunrise photography somewhere, maybe some some long exposures, which you don't necessarily have to do a long exposure using a filter necessarily if you get up before the sun. But I just don't know if I trust the car anymore. The Elite iX35, Hyundai. It's 11 years old. My van, there's no hint of that coming at the moment. Shares are taking an absolute tumbling dive at the moment across crypto, across the ASX, across the S&P 500 USA, across the globe. So if you've got a bag you're holding at the moment, don't get emotional. Understand it's not your company. It's not news about your company. It's just the market is pretty crook at the moment. But it'll bounce back. Josh, that was my enlistment date. Hey, everyone, got my enlistment date on the 14th of February. 14th of Feb. Is that Valentine's Day? Lauren didn't know. Is that Valentine's Day 14th? 16th? Huh. Can someone let me know? Yeah, if you're going to join the military, good one there, Lauren. Make sure you change your name on there. I don't know why it's such a big deal these days that people actually know who you are. They know you're not representing the army as a whole when you speak out, and it's not like our bosses have done a good job with their opinions on life and times of Grizzly Adams, so to speak. But if you change your name when you go for your secret clearances, what they're not going to find is a whole bunch of surprises that come up when they type your name in across Facebook, Instagram, other people's feeds on Twitter, etc. So just look after yourself there. That's just a smart thing to do. Robbie Wool, getting the Kiwis excited just by his name. Davey Penson, I'll have to get up 0500 so I can watch the flag raising ceremony. Dave, Australia Day is all about taking it easy. Wake up when you wake up. Put the aircon on high, you know, and just kick the blankets off, lay there, play some Farmville on your phone, all right? If you're not into crypto, look at crypto and have a laugh at its demise at the moment. Yeah, get out of bed, have a feed. You know, is it a sin to wear long pants of any kind on Australia Day? Does Kaz jump in the Hyundai and put the foot to the floor? It won't make much difference. She'll be right. I bet yours has at least 5 more lives left than my one. How is you going, mate? Robbie Wool. Space Ninja 18. Would a training program be a good idea to prepare for Singleton? No. No. Space Ninja, just turn up fit, mate. You know, if you just turn up fit, you'll be good to go. Because the last thing you want to do is be in a position that you actually overthink it. You know, live your life, be active continually. You know, when you do things, use intensity. How fast can you run 5 kilometres? How fast can you run 2.4? You know, how many champs can you do? How many dips can you do? 2/3 of the size of the arm that makes all the girls come to the yard. Get a thicker neck from doing chin-ups, dips, push-ups, prone hold, swimming, sprinting, whatever. Maybe not even sprinting. You never sprint in the army. We do dynamic actions, run down, crawl, observe, aim, fire, rinse and repeat. Okay, but other than that, it's explosive action, but it's recovery that really makes the difference. So boxing on a bag, hitting at about 55 to 70%, never 100%, is a good way to go, because then you're getting regulated by the space in between rounds. Okay, and tell yourself how many rounds you're going to fight for on the bag. You know, preferably go for a heavy bag, because if you don't have someone holding it, there's a good chance of hurting your wrist. You're going to need those for push-ups at Kapuka. You know, good to go. Pete, listening in, Kaz, getting some food ready for tomorrow. Barbecue and prawns. Oh, it's not a good day for the prawn or the lamb, is it? Just hit the beach, sandbags, run, swim. Whatever you got to do there, Pete. You know, but the beach is a great location. You know what? Good looking people go there too. It's going to be a big day for Bondi. Probably a lot of multicultural punch-ons happen there. Guardian, by the way, Kaz and team, I've been accepted for allergy, immunotherapy, and am on the waiting list. So after that's finished, enlistment should go smoothly. I have been accepted to allergy immunotherapy. Holy shit. Never even heard of that word before. I learned something. Thank you, mate. Just be fit, team. Get fit. Work hard every day. No laziness. Good diet. Sleep properly. And keep hydrated. Hydrated's a big one. For some reason, as you get older, migraines creep into your life. And once you got those, there's no turning back. So great, Guardian. You have been with us for such a long time. It's a lot of really, really good success stories we get on here. And the bat phone is so many positive messages from people. It's a really great thing. Footy players are the ones who should change their names. Yeah, there's truth to that one, mate. Fletch. Okay, so would you recommend some sort of martial arts? No, that may be useful through your career. None of them are. What martial arts are good for, no matter what you do, whether it be boxing, whether it be jiu-jitsu, whether it be aikido, whatever you want. What they are fantastic at is not necessarily the projection of capability, because you always have to assume whoever you lock horns with will be better than you. Okay, but what it does teach you is aggression control, not to panic, not to blow out too early. So from the discipline side of energy output, it can be a good thing. Controlled aggression, fantastic. But other than that, if we end up hand to hand with someone, we're in real big trouble. And we do have a combatives program in the military that you'll learn at the School of Infantry that is all about the buddy system, where one actually basically gets hold of the opposition, and then the second man will, or woman will use whatever it takes within their rules of engagement and the threat that is being brought to the table to determine whether it's non-lethal or lethal force by rifle, boot, helmet, or whatever other cruel way of getting rid of an adversary that's stuffed with the wrong army. Because I believe you're in big trouble, you know, if you want to lean into Australian forces. Right? It doesn't end well normally. JC, is this the famous JC? I changed it, but yeah, I do think I'm 100% ready fitness-wise, but I'm getting there slowly. Just need to push myself more. And always see as the army is the secondary, what do you call it, beneficiary of you training hard. The initial one is you. You know, train to be able to eat more pies, to be able to get the girl with the Aussie flag cape that should never touch the ground, to swing the grey nickels, to be the best version of you, to show people through physical action that you're actually doing something about being a better version of yourself. Ultimately, the army will still be there. You know, you're going to hope to be in the top 50%, you know, of any organisation you're in, whether it be the platoon in Kapuka, the section in Kapuka, the top 50% in your 4-man fire team at the School of Infantry, okay, in your section or fire team at the battalion. Now, if you're always in the top 50%, you're good to go. Because the lower you are, there's not much difference between the guy that comes last and the guy that comes third last, fourth last, fifth last. You know? You don't want to be perpetually suffering in something which is not an event, it's a career or a mission, objective-orientated activity, Tully, deployment. You don't want to be suffering the entire time because you're below the 50% equator for energy. Right? Whether that be because of an injury, whether that be because you've got too many calories, you know, whether you're fat, okay, whether you've got a sickness, whether you smoke and you've let yourself go. Right? So do it to be the best version of yourself. That's okay, Fletch. It's okay, mate. Robbie Kent. Fletch, I've got a Ironman athletes in the family, and that is a toughness that's hard to explain, isn't it? Yeah. I've got Ironman athletes in the family, and the way they would train is by time and intensity. Yep. My advice would be to stop pressuring yourself for the numbers. Just get out and get into the routine. It is true. It is also, Fletch, but very important to understand what we call as a diagnostic. Now, what someone, especially a civilian, will call fit is not necessarily what Army would call fit. You know, quite often in a civilian context, people think fit is just someone who's not fat. Okay, your numbers will determine what level of output or level of fitness and capability you might have. Understand exactly what your fastest recent 2.4 time is, 3.2 time is, 5 kilometre, 10 kilometre time is, how far you can swim before you take a break, have to hold the side. You know, I believe 200 metres should be the standard. You know, after that you should be able to tread water ultimately for 4 hours, but 15 minutes is still a good amount of time to do so. You should be able to hold your breath or be able to swim from one side of a pool to the other side of a pool underwater. These things are very important, because if you have a diagnostic and know that you can do it, then you're not going to feel like that you're up against an anxiety attack when it's time to perform on a day. How actual fit am I? You know, once you can do a certain amount, once you have a diagnostic, what you should do then is aim at technique. Okay, one of the most important things we can do is things like dips, things like chin-ups. Prone hold is fantastic to know how long you can do that for, because that takes all the pressure off your back. You know, I'm sure surfers, you know, the sort of fitness they have is exactly what you need for the military. Yeah. Keep a bit trim, keep the muscle up, you know, fantastic core strength. You know, no one comes in from a surf not exhausted. You know, it's like the second half of a footy match. There's nothing scarier than hearing out the back as a distant cry when you realise you're the closest one to the beach and you can't turn around and go back. That is a scary thing. And then nature will determine how fit you need to be. AMC, here you go, mate. Or fit to a civilian could be someone completely ripped, but is not necessarily able to run 2 kilometres in under 10 minutes. Yeah, well, that's true too. That's true. Look at people that look the part but go into a UFC match but already gassed out before a round is over because they've got excessive muscle. Okay. Are you doing it for the girls, or are you doing it because you're competing for an activity? Don't know. It's up to you. And either one is fine, but at least be realistic with yourself what you're doing it for. What's Carl saying? Go for the top 10%? Well, everything we do in life is a competition, especially for men. If you're not in the top 10%, then good chances are that you're going to be amongst the swipe left on most dating sites too. Because these days it's not about face-to-face contact, going up and saying I'm the best version of a bloke you're going to meet today. And as a matter of fact, I've got nothing administrationally holding me back from giving you the best night of your life. They're going to go, nice speech, I'm married. Ah, okay. Try it. I'll pay for dinner. Happy meal. G'day, Kaz, long time no see. Thomas Kemp. Thorn Kemp. Kemp Thorn. There you go, mate. I don't even know who my friends' names are anymore, because all I've got is chat continually going through my head. I don't even know the names. People go, do you know this person? I go, I'm not sure. And then I realise it's my dad. Army fit has been there at the finish. Yep. Tully fit. High range fit. Patrol fit. Operationally fit. And you can get a shock. Don't assume you've still got it. That's why it was good we used to do the CFA, you know, which was the 15-kilometre pack march twice up the ropes, RDJ, you know, and the fireman carry. Because if you could do that, you can pretty well do everything else. The assault, a section attack, holy shit. That is a footy match wrapped into 15 minutes, I tell you. Lewis Richards. That's it, mate. Don't go into top, heavy, excessive muscle. Just puts that much pressure on everything. Yeah, it does, mate. It does. And it doesn't mean a girl's going to come and give you a drink of water while you're mowing lawns with the crab claws out either. Yeah. Yeah. What do we got? Inexplicably... Sorry about my eyes, mate. I'm not trying to ruin your name here. Inexplicably Scottish. Hey, Kaz, got my assessment day coming up Monday. What would you say is the most important thing for someone with infantry as their first preference to know for the defence interview? That's an excellent question. I'll tell you right on. Because when I think of Australia, I think of guys with a cooey poster, as Lauren would say, answering the call from the showgrounds as they turned up, while mothers reluctantly cried and their husbands put their hand on their shoulder and say he's got to do what he's got to do, and guess what? I'm going too. So, if you're going to go to infantry, you've got to face the fact that there's a massive chance that the person you're speaking to is going to be either civilian or non-infantry. So when you say that, they'll either see that as personal slight, or they'll think of you been watching too many movies. When in actual fact, when you say Australian soldier, the first person you almost always think about is always an infantry soldier. You know, you'll also think about cooks, you'll think about transport, you'll think about artillery and armour and all that sort of shit, and the light horsemen, I get it. But ultimately, the spear point of every single army is their infantry. That's why we think about it. So when you go in there, let them know, hey, look, it's important to me that I start on the front line and then work my way back. This is a career. Okay, I want to start sprinting. I want to start fast. I'm joining for the adventure. I'm joining for the mateship. I want the maximum amount of immersion into what the army is about. Before I get older, before I get a little bit sorer, before I get a little bit slower, where my brain actually is, and I get promoted, and then it becomes more about management. So infantry, when I think about it, I think about the Aussie digger, going over the trenches. So that's where I want to start. That's what I'd say. And your attitude. As long as you know why you want to go to infantry, what battalion you'd like to go to, maybe you could even say, I was a little bit embarrassed about saying, because I don't want you to think that I'm one of those people, but I'd like to go to SASR. I'd like to go to commandos. And I know the way to get to commandos is I have to go through infantry eventually. Therefore, I'd like to get that out of the way, learn how to hunt humans. Not that I'm here for that, but that ultimately is my career. And that'll lead me to the path I need to be on. So that's why. I respect everyone else. I know that I can't do it without everyone else to get me there. But that's where I'm going to start. All good? Follow the sapper. I'm not going to go down that hole. See what I said then, Dave? Fletch. Yep, it's all about attitude, mate. As long as they don't think that you're coming in there, that you're trying to come in for the wrong reasons, that you're talking about special forces before you're talking about going through the logical steps to get to where it is, you're okay. As long as you don't come across as very immature, they might question why you're actually coming in. Yep, and use words like first 4 years, that's what I'd like to do. To season whole ground circ. There you go. Nothing like a Beefy's meat pie. It's tragic that I'm coming up against more and more really crappy meat pies these days for gazies. It's not really that hard to make a good pie. Don't go too heavy on the pastry. Have that beautiful grey film when you rip the lid off. I saw some guy, this maniac, just eating a pie like that the other day. Who doesn't rip the lid off? You've got to rip the lid off. That tells you you've been eating pie since you were a kid and tried to make it last as long as possible. Hey, Kaz, haven't been on a stream for Paulie, yes, that's all right, mate. For a while, still in the army, going on 4 years, and I've made a move from Darwin to Townsville. There you go, Paulie. I told you from the start, go to Townsville. Could have saved you the trip. You just came from divorce weather, Darwin, competing with the USMC, but for the few girls that turn up to town. And now you're going to Townsville where you're 5 minutes from the airport, 15 minutes from Cactus Jack's, and pretty good weather with the cheapest houses in Australia that are pretty good. Well done, mate. Let us know how you keep going with that. Daz, I'll send off a care package. Fletch, got my experience with people from, or got any experience with people from or in the Special Forces, Kaz? Plenty, mate. Plenty. Okay? Plenty that used to work with me, for me. Plenty I still know. Plenty I still talk to. It's I wanted to go for commandos, not SASR, when I went for my barrier test in 1999 before we went to East Timor. But when I came back, I met a really pretty girl. And after that, I never got my mind back in the spot. And again, Kaz I love instructing. I love being line infantry. I love being in a rifle company. I don't want to sit on 9,000 revs in my career. I want to be able to relax and have that life balance. I didn't want the rank. I didn't want the promotions. I didn't want the extra paperwork, the extra logistics, sitting behind computers. I warned people that put me into these positions that help promotions. I'm not the droid you're looking for. I'm the guy that volunteers to instruct at Tully. I'll do the hard work. I'll live in the mud, sleep in the rain, and then I'll do it again. Because I'm an outdoor dog. I still want to sleep on your bed, but yeah. Rip the lid off, put in cheese and chili sauce. I don't go chili in a pie. Pepper, It's the one food where the pepper comes over the chili. Daz, please be, will be the tricky one, but I'm sure there's a way. Pies. Sausage rolls. Mad cow. Huh. How many failed marriages started there? Chips, easy, not sure about the pies. Turkey fish. Pescara gobble gobble. G'day, mate. Fletch. Commandos, why I'm joining, bro. Too small and unfit. Not to mention immature. But sounds like a badass adventure. The scary thing is when people want to go for Special Forces, you've got to ask how long is the average career in Special Forces. And when you see it's no longer than that of infantry, you'd be thinking, oh, well, shit, what happens here? You go, travelling as an elite athlete takes it out of people. Yeah. And the higher you get in your career, you know, as far as the sharp end, you know, the more boring the rest of life can end up ultimately being when you're separated from the herd. So be careful that you don't create a Spartan of yourself, but then never live up to the expectation or reputation that you had, you know, as you chase a dragon for Red Bull excitement for the rest of your life. Married a little boy, top, come a long way in 3-ish years. There you go, mate. Married with a little boy, there you go. Being a dad is the best rank you'll ever be, and I'm sure it's the same for being a mum. And today's society, I think, got it completely wrong, you know. And it's not until you have a kid that you realise it's the best thing that could ever happen to you. You do say it out of the side of your mouth. Sometimes it feels like it sucks, but then you realise how lucky you are. Yeah, you're going into deep water there. Robin's going on about pasties. I don't like the fact that they slip vegetables into it. That's fake news to me. I only want to see the meat, not the bubble and squeak. Daz, Carl and Lauren, how are we going to organise this snack rally? I'm not sure what that one's about. Does anyone know anyone that's become an Australian citizen tomorrow? What an amazing day it's going to be for those people to become an Australian citizen if they've come here to be Australian and not come here for what we hand out. Everyone that is here for the right reason is a fantastic asset, especially when they bring a working attitude to the country. You know, I just think it's sad that a lot of times they get pushed into enclaves where they can't actually meet the people that would be the most accepting to them, and they end up with basically a manifestation of exactly where they came from, including the crimes that they fled from. So I hope everyone has a great Australia Day tomorrow. You know, I hope everyone gets wet, as she said. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a great day. It's not a day for griping. It's not a day for arguing. It's not a day for saying what would make Australia better. You know, it's a day for, I don't know, representing Australia as easily as you can, you know, in the least amount of clothes. Kaz did a good video on that subject. Tagoon, what was he asking? Would you recommend direct entry, Kaz? No, I wouldn't, mate. And unless you meet the people that are in direct entry and you see they're a special kind of animal, mate, you know, it's the hardest way to get there. You're going to be competing with people that have already probably done operational service, that already have rank, that have already led other infantry soldiers. And it is a competition, you know, to get into there. You'll be competing against them physically. You'll be competing with your weapon dexterities and skill sets. You don't want to be going through Kapurka infantry commando training in this nearly 2-year bloody cycle that feels like there's no rest from it. Do it smart. Go in, go to Kapurka, go to infantry, you know, learn how to hunt humans, get a support company course under your belt, and then try out for that when you have no injuries, when you've learned how to hunt humans, where you've learnt the language, where you understand weapon systems and battle damage effects, rank systems, mateship. You've proven you've got a reputation, and then you'll find the rest is okay, because you've got to remember 90% of people that go for Special Forces normally fail. It's not that low with commandos, but it is with SASR. Yeah. And sometimes I don't agree with what they do either. I think they miss out on some really, really good people. Daz, I think I'll soak in the sunrise by the river tomorrow. Wouldn't it be good to just float down some bull shark waterway like Foster on a surf mat or something, eating some fish and chips and maybe a battered sav. No barbecue sauce on anything on Australia Day. I think at one shot at Commandos, it's a long haul and it's a very fast one too. I'll get Kaz to give you my number. Who's that for, Lauren? So it doesn't surprise me. I'm thinking of watching the sunrise from the top of the Gateway Bridge. Don't jump, because Chris Cross will make you jump, jump, jump. Yeah. Guardian. Tagoon. The people who do direct entry and get in are normally like 25 to 30, that's correct. And doctors, engineers and the like. SOCOM look for a very specific kind of person with DRS. Look, they do. They do. You're still got to be standing at the end. They like people to bring skill sets with them. You know, but they also are looking for team players. You know, and you can make yourself look like that you are adverse team players. It's like going to snipers, going to reconnaissance. You're going to be working with these guys. You also need to be able to keep your mouth shut. You know, that's another one too. You know, you'll never be able to understand a lot of the logic from a civilian's perspective, from a military, what would you call it, projection. To be allowed through certain doors that you can't come back through mentally and look at things in a completely different way with a mission with minimum amount of wiggle room, okay, after a certain H-hour timing goes down. You know, it's already decided what's going to occur. You know, that's why it's called without warning. Fugly, there he is. Gina is making me put, he's over Western Australia too, is making me put in new garden edging tomorrow. I tell you what, all I want to do is go to the beach. Fugly, don't be a pussy. No wife can tell you what to do other than get another drink or stay out with your mates on Australia Day. You shouldn't be telling her what to do. And if you let her tell you what to do, you deserve what you get. As a matter of fact, partners, unless it's for their own well-being, should never tell people what to do. You communicate. You give a bit. Okay, you work up some brownie points before you get the day off. You work hard. You look after your little one. You deserve a day off. Glacier, the beach, where glass comes from. Kaz, you're all over it. Yeah. I know you're being facetious there, Fugly, but if she tells you what to do, do the opposite. Okay, you learnt your lesson. Don't tell me what to do, or I'll buck it. Because the more you do what you're told, the more likely the orders list will get longer. Yeah. Carl, agreed, Lauren. It's all fake and a waste of time. What's that word for? Thanks for that, Kaz and Guardian. Tagoon, it's all good, man. You just got to have a mission plan, mate. Life is awesome, but if we try to take shortcuts, sometimes we realise we put ourselves in the shit. You know, it'd be great to have guys from Commandos that have been in there for a considerable amount of time let you know as well. You know, but quite often people get into special forces. They're special people too. Yeah, they don't realise how skillful they are a lot of the time. You know, and their demands of excellence from others can be very high as well. You know, if you've got any workaholics as friends, someone like Carl P, someone like my mate Matty Alul, you know, they never sit down. All they do is work. And that's the sort of ethic that makes them fantastic there, that can drive their buddies crazy. Now there's another workaholic, Deadpool, he calls himself. We call him Robin. No dead horse on my pie. I want to taste that 2% meat, beef and gravy. Get that ventricle into you. I've got no Coca-Cola in the house too. Ben Cousins, come and give me some. How do holidays work, if there are any, and when do you have to be around the base exactly, and how near? Fletch, it's a good question. You'll get more holidays off in the army than what you will in almost any civilian role other than New South Wales police officer. So you'll get Easter off, unless you've done something wrong or your company's doing something. Okay, you'll get September off, and then you'll get between 6 and 8 weeks off, depending on how many days you've got in your book, over Christmas. Yep. And there's other periods where you can take time off, short leave. You know, for example, if you have a reason, you can take days out of your book if they get to too many. You know, you earn extra days off by field days. Every 10 days you get an extra day, I believe it is. Yep. So you get a lot of time off. It's what will you do with that time? Because you're normally in a remote location, whether it be the land of single mothers, Adelaide, whether it be Darwin, okay, we'll give you a remote locality leave, whether you're in Townsville, as long as you're next of kin, and I recommend this to you, if you have a girlfriend that you live with, do not make her your next of kin until there's a ring on a finger. Make it your mum in Newcastle or Adelaide or Perth, because then you'll get incidentals back to your next of kin, not to the person beside you, which is your wife that lives in Kerwin. You know, that's a smart hack, so to speak. Okay, and then if you drive back, the incidentals can be phenomenal. Maury, how you going, mate? Okay, I just want to say thanks. No problems, mate. Where are we? Just want to say thanks. Passed my assessment day, which is one of the hardest days recently, and your videos were a big help during my preparation. It's all good to have you here, mate. You know, and the biggest surprises come to people on the assessment day because they might have an act of God, something medically wrong with them they didn't even know that they had. Or they might say something that makes someone go, what did you just say? You know, that can take a negative turn for them. Yeah, or it might simply be that they've been on the devil's lettuce, or say something like, you know, yeah, I've tried this, I've tried that, and they're just going to put an X through your name. It might be something you've done stupid in your earlier days that doesn't represent who you are attitudinally now. It could be a tattoo that you've got in the wrong spot. You know, so just go easy on yourselves. Dave, in the Australian of the is Dylan Alcott, OAM. I'm sorry, mate, the name doesn't ring a bell. Awesome, Mary. And can we get some thumbs up for Maury there for passing his assessment day? He's getting ready to go. And for all of those that are also in the Australia Day platoon that have been there for over a week now, let's get some thumbs up in the chat. I'm sure they're still thinking, holy shit, what have I done? You know, they're about they'll be getting their red tabs now. It'll be interesting. Australian of the Year. That'd be a hard one to decide. I'd always like the Australian of the Year to be some dairy farmer or a baker, someone who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning to give you said pie, someone who's no one's ever heard of outside Burke's Bakery. But just give it to an everyday person, because it's an everyday person that makes up the fabric, that makes up the country, that makes up the attitude, that swings the bats, eats the pies and whacks the checks and catches the waves and says g'day to you at the bloody servo. That's the Aussie of the Year. Don't always look for the elite. Look for the average individual that pays their taxes, loves their kids, pats their dog, doesn't take your wife, and tells some good jokes and is not afraid to sing karaoke in a backyard. That's the Aussie of the Year. The one that'll put their hand up and say, not on my effing watch, mate. That's who I look at. I don't look at the elite. They're always going to be there. And they've normally got something a bit wrong in their head that makes them 100 miles an hour to succeed. You don't want to be that person either. You want to be able to take your foot off the accelerator and be able to enjoy life. And what is more enjoyful than a tinny, and I don't mean a beer, or a stand-up paddleboard, as the sun is coming up in salt water, as the edge goes down quickly into deeper green water where you can see the rocks down below as you push over them, not a sound other than the sound of the licking of the water against the edge of the boat. The smell of the two-stroke fuel, fantastic. And then you don't catch shit. The smell of the bait, so good. The forbidden prawns, we call them bait here in Australia. You know, in England they'd call them a delicacy, like brushing your teeth. JC, Dylan Alcott is a wheelchair tennis guy. Ah, okay. He's a disability advocate. All right. I don't think much of ScoMo myself, but I have a basic etiquette. Yeah, I really don't know what to think. I really don't know with that. I don't feel like there is much Australian leadership at all. Giving Twitter something to talk about. Timmy Doust is here. G'day, mate. It's good to see we haven't got too many people here tonight because it probably means they're getting ready for a big day tomorrow. Swinging the bat, eating the lamb. Nothing smells better than two-stroke, you're right, mate. I feel dirty for liking it. Does it bring back our childhood? Is that what it is? I don't know. Is it the smell of adventure? It's like those rubbers the girls used to play with at school. The ones that smelt like Coca-Cola. Addicted. I think we're almost out of talk points here. I just hope that Jay Hayes is doing okay there in Westside. Like Ukraine. Wouldn't want to be over there when the power turns out. And I don't believe anyone called up and said, come and help me, Russia. You know it doesn't end well. Current. Sultana. Does anyone have anything else? Let's go into, it's 10 past the hour for the stream. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about? We'll go for another 10 minutes. Is it un-Australian if I have a chicken and camembert pie tomorrow? Not if you're a politician or a military officer. You can pretend to like the taste of that fake upper-class toffee-nose food, cuisine. I'm full throttle, Carl. Yeah, you got to get that blue smoke going out the back of the engine, and it can't be one that's tuned well either. There's always got to be a sense of being stranded between sandbanks with your kids pulling on the anchor rope like a bloody, can't use that S word. They're only bull sharks, kids. I watched a video last night on the top 10 fatal shark attacks of 2021. Half of them were in Australia. I didn't even know it. Un-Australian, Lauren, but sounds good none the least. It's like people pretending to like the taste of wine and olives. Timmy, best pie shops locations. Oh, they're fighting words for some people, mate, eh? Let's talk about getting some chips over to Dave Penson. Do you mean tubes? There's only one chip that I'd say is better than the tube, which is not a chip. Maybe two, and that's the Stacks of Snacks. But to know that you have to be at least 50 years old to have heard of them, Stacks of Snacks, they got discontinued. It was a sad thing. They came out at the same time as tubes. But the other one, I was living in Dundas after they came out. I was living in Townsville when they came out, when it was, what do you call it? It was in Townsville. It was before it was Stockland Plaza. And it was the barbecue CC. It's one of the only chips that doesn't have a barbecue flavour anymore. The barbecue CC and the cheese CC were free when they first came out. I've said it on here before. Because people didn't like the taste of mouse shit mixed with cardboard, which is what the corn chips tasted like. So they used to put them in boxes and they made them free, knowing that the army marriedies, you know, that might as well be bomb shelter survivors from World War II, you know, they'd scab anything that was for free. You know, one-ply toilet paper, yes please. But the barbecue CC was fantastic. The tangy barbecue CC. Equilateral triangle, perfect. Fletch, I feel that Dave headache. At the end of the day, I build pools. Oh, yeah, there you go. And being down the side of a pool plumbing sends you loopy. Fletch, I could imagine, mate. I couldn't think of a harder job than a tradie where we can actually look at your productivity for a day of manual labour. You know, when you're having an off day, it must be bloody torture when you're on the clock. Same John, I hate olives. My chicken loves them. G'day Emma, how you going, love? What are you doing for Australia Day, mate? You eating the pie? You going to fly the flag like this last year? You going to swing the bat? You going to step on some mindies? Are you going to someone else's house? You're going to a pool party? Whew. Scallop pies sound awesome, Timmy. Wash your mouth out. Stop trying to sound exotic. You sound like a Frenchman trying to be Australian. Keep it simple. Turkey fish. Had a venison pie. I can't stand the taste of game meat. In New Zealand, the meat chunks were so big they touched the lid and the bottom the same. It was chockers. I reckon the worst food I've ever tasted was venison. I don't know whether you have to be brought up from a child to have it. I was in the military at the time. That was the first time I saw a Rolex watch too. I heard that you can use CCs as fire starters. Yeah, that's an interesting one. A hack. Are they more expensive than fire starters, mate? I don't know. I am French, says Deadpool. Robin, you're not. Potato cakes. I call them scallops. MSC, hitting the weights and studying for assessment day. None of that should be happening tomorrow. Let it all hang out. You know, make a G-string out of a pair of denim jeans. You know, go down, let your hair out. Get sunburnt. Don't touch zinc. Causes cancer. Pies are the best in the world. Shop on it. The big pie cook-off would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Anyway, I don't think I'm going to have the, what would you call it? I don't think I'm going to have the mettle to get out of bed early tomorrow. I think I'm going to lay in me filth, you know, and just get out of bed, take my time, Coca-Cola for breakfast, you know, and then see what we get up to. I love the steak and kidney pie. That's filth, Robbie Kent, but not many. Oh, whenever I see a steak and kidney, I always think I'm dealing with a cannibal, you know. I always think of serial killers when I look at the steak and kidney pie. It's because my grandmother fooled me into eating one when I was younger. Disgusting. You should never do that to a child. I'll make my own, Rob. I love it too. Kidney. No need to eat offal to him. Not in the depression. Not yet. Is there anyone other than Dave Penson that's not in Australia at the moment? Kaz, how far is the beach from you? Hour and 15 minutes, mate. An hour and 15 minutes. You know, sucks. Especially because I love the sunrise too. I love that getting before the sunrise. I don't mean Channel 7 with, you know, Colonel Clint Koshy. Plain pie, yum. Yep, nothing wrong with plain pie. The sausage roll. I reckon the sausage roll comes close to it, but you know what? The sausage roll, once you're over 50, gives you heartburn before you finished it. And I do believe that I'm the first one to come up with the idea that the sausage roll, you could make a fantastic meal of sausage roll ends. Everyone knows that the end of a sausage roll looks like the scab off your knee after a skateboarding accident or a bike stack. That's the best bit. So why not cut the sausage roll into 8 pieces, put it back in the oven, so then you're getting twice as many knee scabs, you know, in your gob, you know, for the price of 1. Instead of 2, you got 16. Fantastico. Be the first person to do that. I bet you guys would love a bloody container full of knee scabs or sausage rolls at the cricket. Big mushrooms, another filthy food. Yeah, the mushroom, right, it'll grow on your food if you don't even eat it. It's a fungus. It's not welcome on my plate. It's like salad. I hate it. Greek salad is good. That's about the same for me, mate. Good hour and a half, solid drive. Das. It's worth it when you get there, mate. But there's a lot of dickheads on the road in Sydney, I tell you now. And there's a hell of a lot of tolls. One of the things a lot of people don't realise is, I was talking about it today, the knee scab pie would be great there, Rob. The thing that they did in Australia, it took us forever to pay off the Sydney Harbour Bridge. A lot of people don't know that. What they did a while back was they got rid of the tolls, and it was only because it caused accidents, I think, where you'd physically put the money in to the tolls to go across Sydney Harbour Bridge, etc. People think they got rid of that toll. No, they didn't. All they did was put an electronic toll tag system before the bridge and another one up after the bridge. So you're paying 2 tolls now. And everyone knows you don't pay the ferryman till you get to the other side. Hey Fletch, how you going? Not too cow, mate. Thanks for the, that's enough money to buy some knee scabs right there. $8, for those that don't know, is equivalent to 8,000 viewers on YouTube. So thank you very much. Have a good night, Kaz. I'm off, bud. Good luck in your assessments, ladies and gents, and have a ripper. And you, Fletch, okay, you arrow-making freak, you have a fantastic Australia Day. You know, make sure you have a disagreement with someone, because arguing is the Australian way. Complain about the temperature of the tomato sauces on your pie. You know, get in the water, complain about the cold even if it's 27 degrees. Hit the ball over someone's fence and say as a guest you shouldn't have to go and get it. And have a great day, mate. Lift the bat. Good on you, and thank you for tonight. Fugly, a party or party sausage rolls. Yeah, they're still too long, but mate, they're still too long. JP handed me a scab he picked the other day. I automatically put my hand out to take it, the filthy animal. God, it doesn't matter how old you are. We talk to kids about, you know, have a go at something, have some discipline. You know, don't do this, don't do that. Yet all you've got to do is touch a scab with your knee just once like that, and you can't stop. Once you pop, it's a Pringle. A scab is a Pringle. Once you pop, you can't stop. I'll just scratch it a couple of times. Fletch, will do. With a tinny in my hand. Is it going to be VB? Are you going to go for the vermin broth, or are you going to go for a Tui's? We need to get rid of tolls. Yeah, it's a bit weird when you live in Sydney, man. You know, depending where you go to, you can be paying $50 in tolls. There's no joke. In one day. Anyway, guys and gals, let's get out of here and go and ring my daughter, the mortar, and I'm going to go and tell her I love her, and she's lucky to have me as a father, in some ways. And I hope you have a great time tomorrow. Thanks for listening to me talk shit. I hope tomorrow's a great day. I hope you make a new friend today. Maybe time to get rid of an old friend. Replace them. You know, keep some of the debates off the table. Don't talk about the COVID shit. It'll drive you crazy. There's no common sense involved with that. All right? Have some tucker. Have some good food. And the day is not complete unless you have a swim. That's what I reckon. If you can't, then have a bath. You can't get sunburnt there. Now that's a plan. See you later. Don't spend the day alone. Take it easy. Mucho respecto. And I can't wait to call Australia home every day. Because it is Australia Day every day. Subscribe right now. Like the stream. And welcome to Australia if you're new. That's Tiano, as they call it in Spanish. See ya. Never eat a kidney pie. Filth. See you later. Love and respect from Australia, from a veteran, to those that support us.